Hey gang, I'm coming at you from my master bathroom. I know I'm committing a major faux pas for a YouTube DIYer, but I need to do another bathroom video. I'm trying to finish updating my house, and I would hate to deprive you, my loyal viewers, of an opportunity to see me in action. Speaking of loyal viewers, would you mind doing me a huge favor and hitting that subscribe button before we get into the thick of things? And since the like button isn't too far away, why don't you smash that while you're at it? Let's see how fast I can get 100 likes on this video.
Well, let's start in the beginning. They say that's a really good place to start. First thing you gotta do is pull off all the trim. If you don't have one of those sweet trim pullers I'm using, I highly recommend you get one. Then it's time to start laying out the flooring. No need to rip up the old, we're just gonna go right over top. I'll spare you the details of all the cuts I had to make. Best get them done right here and now. Most of them were done with a miter saw, and a couple of the fancier ones I used a multi-tool for. To the Ryobi executives watching this, I'm still waiting for my contract in the mail. You may need to undercut your trim to fit the flooring underneath it. I got away without it, but you can use a multi-tool to do that, or if you don't have that, a chisel or even different varieties of saws will get the job done if need be. A tapping block and some sort of rubber hammer are also essential tools for this job. You don't need to get a fancy two-sided one like I have. Any old rubber mallet should do the job. Unless you're young and rubbery, knee pads are also nice to have. In most cases, I would recommend removing the toilet in advance of starting to lay your flooring, but I wanted to maintain a functional bathroom for as long as I could, so I laid as much flooring down as possible before I took out the toilet. Since my last bathroom update, my toilet squat technique has improved dramatically. I would like to take this opportunity to thank whoever thought that putting in this rubberized trim was a good idea. It wasn't. We call that a bob job. If you missed my previous bathroom update video, I will just reiterate. Cutting the flooring around the toilet flange does not have to be perfect. Mark your cuts the best way you can, cut it as close to the flange as you can, and don't worry about being perfect because the toilet should cover any gaps between the flooring and the flange. I can't help but feel that this vinyl plank flooring is a DIYer's best friend. It cuts easy, it installs easy. What's not to love? Don't worry, I'll take care of that bob job a little later on in the video. Don't forget to install or reinstall your baseboard behind the toilet before you reinstall it. A new wax ring for your toilet is also a good idea. Tighten her down, reconnect the water, and cross your fingers.
This part always makes me a little bit nervous. I've got everything up off the floor. I put down a towel just in case, so let's see how it goes. I don't see any water leaking out, so that's a good sign.
For this remodel, I'm also going to be replacing the vanity top and the faucet. So that means I have to do a little plumbing. Not a big fan of plumbing, but gotta do what I gotta do. Once you disconnect all the pipes and water lines, removing the vanity top is usually just a matter of cutting the caulk that connects it to the wall and the cabinet. Unfortunately, in my case, it also required moving of one of the upper cabinets. Now I think it's time for a break. Even my boss wanted to get in on this sweet action. I'm not sure how you dispose of vanity tops, but my strategy is typically to break it up into small enough pieces so that I can fit it into my garbage can. So far, so good. In order to fit the new top in place, I had to cut away a little more of the facing on the cabinets because the new top was a little bit taller than the old one. But my multi-tool and a nice sharp chisel made quick work of it. Once I get that situated, I can figure out how to scroll my top so that I have a nice tight fit on the existing cabinets. Scrolling the top was a little tricky because the very front of it stuck out beyond the cabinets, so I couldn't do any sanding on it lest I ruin my new vanity top. My solution to this problem was to use a hand file and create a nice 90-degree angle where my sander couldn't reach. Maybe there's a better option out there, but it got the job done. The faucet I bought came with these rather interesting white gloves. The only reasonable conclusion I can come to is that they are a requirement for assembly of this faucet, and if you don't wear them during assembly, the faucet will malfunction. Either that, or Walt Disney got into the plumbing fixture game. If given the opportunity, I strongly recommend installing the faucet before installing the vanity top on the vanity. It's just not a lot of fun to have to shimmy into a cabinet to connect water lines, pipes, etc. They just don't make kitchen or bathroom cabinets for the extra large gentlemen. I want my children to grow up in a world where shirts and slacks aren't the only thing they sell at the big and tall store. I had to lose the gloves. They're classy, but they're just not very functional for the working man. This is also a great time to replace your water shutoff valves if need be. Don't ask me how I know that, because I won't tell you. After 3 or 4 trips to the hardware store, I finally got the right configuration of 1.5 inch and 1.25 inch pipes. Did I mention how much I hate plumbing? Oh well, everything works how it's supposed to. I guess that means it's time for some caulk. Make sure you use the right type of caulk for going around the sink. It should say something like kitchen and bath, or tub and tile, or mold and mildew resistant. Quite honestly, I don't really remember what I got, but if it's a pain to work with and a pain to clean up, chances are you've got the right stuff. If duct tape is the handyman's secret weapon, then caulk is the DIYer's saving grace. Just take your time, cut a really small hole in your tube of caulk, add a little bit of caulk at a time, and use multiple coats, waiting for it to dry in between coats if need be, and it'll turn out okay. Time to install the baseboards. Because this is cheapo MDF baseboard, I actually waterproofed the trim that was going near the shower. I used a little bit of Flex Seal spray all over the trim, and then along the top of it I used the same caulk that I used on the vanity top. Maybe it was a good idea, maybe it was a bad idea. Time will tell. but my guess is that it will prolong the lifespan of that trim. Of course my floors aren't perfectly flat. That's probably what I get for laying my vinyl plank right over the old linoleum. Unless you're some sort of carpentry mastermind, you're most likely going to want to caulk along the top of your trim. Ooh, that is a beautiful bead. And I smeared it up against the wall. Take it from me, kids. That's what you get for being cocky. No, you didn't just stumble into another video. It's time to fix the bob job. My plan is to stain this to match my vanity and install it as my toe kick instead of that old rubberized eyesore. Here I'm applying a little bit of pre-stain. It just helps the stain to absorb into the wood evenly, and it helps prevent blotchiness. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in some of my other videos, but that's a very brief overview. I actually had the right color of stain on hand because I went through the same process in my main bathroom for the same reason. Bob, buddy, what were you thinking? A perfect match. We've been in this house for like 3 or 4 years now. I don't know exactly. My memory's a little foggy on the details, but in that entire time, we never had towel bars in our master bathroom. So it was time. Please comment below if you can tell me why they don't make 16-inch towel bars. It just seems like it makes a lot of sense to make towel bars that span the studs of a wall, at least a normal wall. I'm pretty sure I could fold a towel to hang on a 16-inch towel bar and still get dry in a reasonable amount of time. Maybe that's just another one of life's unanswered questions. Kind of like why you buy 8 hot dogs but 12 hot dog buns. What am I supposed to do with those 4 buns? Time for the big reveal. Breathtaking. Well, this is a little bit embarrassing. I didn't know we were rolling. Ooh, and I didn't wash my hands.